Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
And as I said earlier, this is something that we are all awaiting. Maybe first of all, you can probably paint a picture on where we are economy-wise.
Thank you. As a country, Kenya, our economy is on the growth path. As so far, we are on target in terms of our growth, GDP, and which is expected to surpass the 5% mark. And as of now, we are around there. And we are doing well, considering the investments that the government have done in our economy, both in the manufacturing sector, the construction or building sector, and other social structures in the country. So as per the latest statistics, then we are on the correct path according to what we predicted at the beginning of the year, that we want to close the year towards having a growth rate of more than 5% GDP. Yes.
And what about when we talk about the maritime sector? Because this is the sector that links the Blue Economy Conference that will be held on the 26th to 28th of November. Where can we say we are at, when we look at the maritime sector here in our country? Because, many a times we've been told that we have so many resources that are yet to be tapped.
True. So far, we have done fairly well. But there's still more to be done. Blue economy, as you understand, is specifically taking advantage of the natural resources, and that is water. Our coastline, we have the Indian Ocean, and the inland, we have Lake Victoria. Well, we have not exploited 100%, but being the country which is the gateway to East Africa, we have done fairly well, using the waters in around the Indian Ocean, and more specifically Mombasa, where all the ships and other things which are coming both export and for import, and that has been fairly well. We, as a country, again, we have the Lamu port, which is coming up. That's also another opportunity that also will explore the opportunities using the blue waters. We have Lake Victoria now, and within the East African community, the government, also with the county government of Kisumu, is looking at using steamships that can transport goods and services between the countries touching Lake Victoria. So taking advantage of those opportunities will open our economy and create jobs, and also speak to the four big agenda of this country, which actually this water can be utilized to achieve the big four and other economical activities in this country. And of course, at the end of the day, will create jobs. Yes.
Yeah, that is something we will definitely be talking about, the Big Four agenda on food security and unemployment. Exactly. And yeah, as I said earlier, this is a high-level conference, happening here in our country. Over 11,000 delegates, having registered is quite a good number. But what is so huge about this conference? What chances as a country do we have, or are we looking to tap in terms of, the potential that we have as a country?
Thank you. First of all, as a Kenyan, I want to welcome all the 11,000 delegates to come to visit Kenya for the conference. I hope they will enjoy their stay and have fun.
They definitely should. Yeah,
they should. And I'm sure even the organizers should not allow them to go back, maybe take them to Mara and other interesting sites in this country. To your question, the first thing I would say that as a country, we're proud that we have, for the first time, owned this conference in Kenya or in the soils of Africa. So that's number one. Two, it's also giving other citizens of this world to see the beauty of this country. So that's number one.
Yeah.
So in terms of revenues coming in terms of foreign exchange, people coming to do trade here, some of those people would want to spend some extra holidays here, or they will plan. So that's an advantage from a social point of view. Economically, then, we're saying that after this conference, we believe there will be structures and laws and decisions that will be made that it will actually speak to the operationalization and usage of the blue economy all over the world. As a country, then we'll take advantage of that. Being the first country in Africa to have this conference, we'll take advantage and implement some of those policies as quickly as possible. Two, because of our coastline and the opportunity that's existing, we believe some of the investors will come in and actually support some of the projects and the opportunities that are existing within the blue economy of this country. So we have to showcase our blue economy. We have opportunity of investors coming in and join hands with Kenya and take advantage of that. We have the opportunity to take advantage of the policies that will be out of the conference and implement them as quickly as possible and take advantage of that sector. So that at the end of the day, we get income based on that economy. And blue economy is so wide.
Yes.
It's so wide. Yes.
And, as financiers, coming in through to support the Blue Economy Conference, why have you chosen to be part of this, and what exactly do you expect from it?
Thank you. As financial is very critical for us. Number one, those guys who are coming here, they are not coming to Kenya shillings. They are coming with their foreign currency.
Okay, we are talking about dollars.
So dollars. So as a bank, we welcome them to come and do their foreign exchange with us. So we'll have dollars in this country and with them Kenya shillings. Two, they'll spend those Kenya shillings within our economy. So we expect within those days, Nairobi, business will boom. Three, those
so I guess we should also be working with dollars as well.
No. They should come to the banks. They should for exchange. They have the dollars. Let them come to the banks or the other sectors or other units where they can exchange bureaus. Now, but the key issue here as a bank is that these businesses will offer an opportunity for us to offer to our customers transactional facilities that will help them take advantage of the blue economy. What do I mean? For example, those ones who are importing things will provide them instruments like letter of credit, or maybe within even this country, bank guarantees and other financial instruments that can facilitate the economy to move within the blue economy. Two is that there will be goods and services which will be moving up and down. Those goods and services will require funding, and the bank will be there to offer funding to ensure that those services are provided timely and to the market. In other words, what I'm saying is that there will be trade, taking advantage of the blue economy for trade purpose. That trade of movement of goods and services up and down require financial institutions to support them in either from a credit point of view, from banker guarantee point of view, or even for the transaction even to move. Because for goods to move, there must be money moving from one bank to another bank or from another account to another account. And that's where the banks will play a critical role in actually serving that sector and ensuring that those movement of goods will be moving easily after transactions of funds have been moved from A to B.
And, after the conference, again, what's next for you as banks? Because, as we said earlier, this is something that everyone wants to be part of.
Sure.
And therefore, there will also be other people who would want to maybe support you as the bank to see that, there is this sustaining, we have sustained, the economy. So what plans do you have when it comes to this?
Thank you. The plans that the bank have is, number one, is to provide the financial solutions to meet the demands of the blue economy. And we have products ready for that. And if there's any new services that somebody would be willing to get, which we don't have, we are at ease to prepare or meet their needs from a financial point of view. So we see ourselves as Kenyans. I'm sure Kenyans are very good at networking. They will have networked with investors. After they network with investors, they want to come and invest in this country, in the blue economy. We are willing to offer them banking services. Like in Mombasa, we have 2 branches, and we can still even have more. That's an opportunity that the investors and our country people in Kenya who want to invest in the blue economy can take advantage. So we have the financial instruments that can meet them. including digital. Yes.
So you're open to
exactly. We have a branch in Kisumu, take care of Lake Victoria, and even Nakuru. We have a branch which takes care of Lake Nakuru and the rest, and Lake Baringo and the rest. So we have stationed ourselves in one way or another where the blue economy is, and we welcome our customers to take advantage of that.
And talking about the government's role in this, just recently the head of state said that this is a good opportunity to bring back the lost glory, when it comes to protecting resources here in our country.
Yes.
So when we talk about resources, we are talking about the oceans and all that we have here. How or what areas are we looking at, to see that we have sustained and we've also harnessed the economy here in our country?
Thank you. I think our beloved president was very right to say so. The role of the government here is more specifically is policy, ensure that the right policies are there, the right laws are there for business to thrive. Number one, security, and you saw him the other day in Mombasa, providing that, assurance of that, which is very key, and then the infrastructure. Now, with those government giving out, then the private sector now can thrive using those scenarios. And the private sector can only thrive in conjunction with the financial institutions, so that the financial institutions provide the finance. The private sector comes with the ideas and the opportunities that exist, both speaking from blue waters, from coast like tourism. We have food, so fish. We have games, skating, and all these water boats and other things. So that speaks to our hotels. And all those people who are doing those things, they need to sleep somewhere. So there's an hotel somewhere. So you find all those areas will require finance. The hotelier here, to supply food to the guests, will need capital from the bank. The person who is fishing would need capital from the bank to buy oil or diesel for his boat to go and fish. So at the end of the day, he requires also a cold room. That cold room requires finance. So there's that in the linkage at the end of the day. So the government plays their role, the private sector plays their role, the financial sector plays their role, and at the end of the day, it will help improve our economy and stay up to achieve the targets that the government have planned. Yes.
Well, it's good that you clarified that about finances. And, before we end the show, as we have very little time left, in very quick words, when it comes to matters unemployment, you talked about it, and, this is something that the government also is looking forward to see that the issue of unemployment at least has been solved. But as much as, this being a great opportunity for us and for the youth, for matters creating job opportunities, how do we deal now with the gap that has been created between the high level of unemployment that we have in our country and the also big number of technically unskilled people?
Yes. It's true, we have a high number of unemployment in this country, but sometimes I ask myself, are we really having high number? The truth is that yes and no, because it's a question of people deciding what they want to do. I think we need to move from this straight jacket of collar jobs and take advantage of the skills that we have. And already the government have addressed that by going to the polytechnic way and skilling people. Now coming to the blue economy, there are so many opportunities on that line. People or young graduates, young guys from high school, or even people who have been retrenched from another sector, they can actually go down and say, what can I do to really achieve or actually provide a service in this economy? Look at Kisumu, for example. We have a steamship moving from, let's say, Kisumu to Mwanza in Tanzania. That steamship will carry maybe about 200 people. When they land, people need food, people need water. Why can't I provide a kiosk? Or maybe a provision of that. That is creating jobs.
So it's a matter of
creating
employment.
It's a question of being innovative and creating employment where there's opportunity.
Not seeking employment.
Not seeking employment. See the opportunity, be innovative, create what is required, and it will go. Yes.
Yeah,
I admire people in Nairobi. Look at, like yesterday, it was raining.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, you had guys in the street selling umbrellas. That's being innovative.
And you wonder where they're coming from.
Where they come from, and we bought it. And that is how that's genius. So our young men needs to be innovative, not just sit at home and wait for your father to look for jobs for you, or to say I have a certificate. You have a degree. Yes, that's fine. But that degree is not going to give you food. Think big and leave your degree and get something. Yes.
All right.
So it's a challenge to the youth, and also to even to the parents. Don't allow the kids to stay at home. The mistake as parents like me is where you babysit your child. A boy who is 25 years or 30 years still in the house, or a girl, and you still provide food. Nothing. Go out there, look for food for yourself. Thank you.
Tough but good words right there.
Yeah, we need to be tough.
All right.
Tough love.
Yeah, maybe lastly, what are your feelings about the economy? I mean, the Blue Economy Conference.
We, as a bank and as a financial sector, we are proud of it, and we are happy, and we hope this thing will translate to more business, and more business to all the sectors, from the bank to the manufacturing, to food security, agriculture, to health, and the big four, as our president wants us to lead. And we are there to support the vision of this country, achieve its objectives. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Very outspoken Timothy Biwot there from Credit Bank.